Hey traders, I got a really exciting video for you guys today. Let me preface by saying please stay until the end of this video. There's going to be exciting news. You're going to hear it for the first time. Well, I want to introduce you guys to Michael Milani. He is the CEO of Mondeum Capital and has become a good friend of mine in the process. He agreed to an interview that we're about to do and also agreed to answer some tough questions I said I'm going to ask for the community because I figured you guys might want to have some tough questions answered. What I really like about Mondeum Capital is not just their pricing structure, which is really good. I'm excited to get into that, but they are customer centric. Whereas most other brokers out there, you're the product rather than the customer. With Mondeum Capital, you guys are the customer. You're put first and foremost over everything else. Without further ado, let's get to the man himself, Mr. Michael Milani. Thank you so much, Mike, for jumping on this interview. Talk a little about yourself.
Thanks, man. So first of all, thanks for having me, and I'm excited to talk to your customer base.
Mm-hmm.
My name is Michael Milani. I'm the CEO of Mondeum Capital. I've been in the active trading business now for 25 years. I started my career out of college as a wealth manager, smiling and dialing like a lot of guys do. I didn't have Wall Street backgrounds growing up as a kid. I started my career as a salesperson, kind of trolling for high net worth accounts and things like that. I began as a day trader in 2003. I traded for myself for a while. I thought I was pretty good at the time. And then as I've kind of evolved in my career, I've realized there are much, much better traders out there than I was. But I started running trading groups a couple of years in. Worked with a couple of different firms over the course of my career. Right before COVID, I did some consulting for a few different fintech companies and venture capital firms and things like that. And I founded Mondeum Capital in 2021. It's taken us a little bit of time to develop our technology, kind of put all the pieces together and get the right team in place. We are live, we're launched, and we're excited to move forward. MondeumCapital.com.
Yeah, and I wanted to ask you, for traders that are looking to open another account or maybe their first account, because like you were saying, those guys that are amazing traders, that they have accounts open everywhere. They have accounts open at many different brokers for several different reasons. Maybe they want an extensive short list or their routes, just many different reasons. What do you say to those guys that might why should they choose Mondeum over another broker?
Sure. Well, first of all, Mondeum Pro was built for a very specific group, active traders with a minimum of a year's worth of trading experience. So when I say active traders, there's a real delineation between what's an active trader and what is an investor, right? Investors we want to put our children through college or invest for the long term, and we're going to be holding stocks for months and years. Active traders are looking for cash flow opportunities, short-term movements in the market, typically anywhere from day trades to 1 to 3 day holds to position trades for weeks, that kind of thing. So there is a delineation between the two. So I don't think we'd be a good fit for a brand new trader looking to fund their first trading account. You'd be better off at one of those zero commission apps or something like that.
Gotcha.
Additionally, I don't tell traders they should abandon their current relationships and just work with us. Every successful brokerage firm is in business for a reason, and they each cater to a specific type of trader with very specific needs. The group that we're catering to is pretty unique in the trading community in the sense of active traders who need specialized and custom routing strategies, extensive short locate lists and stock loan inventory lists.
Right.
They need competitive pricing because they tend to be more on the high volume side. But more importantly, and you talked about this earlier, more of a high touch approach to active trading brokerage. And I think that's been lost a little bit in this mega fintech age of stock trading apps. It's a different experience for sure. But one of the things we wanted to do was offer 3 months free for all of our platforms to start with, just so that people can test this out, see what they like about us, what they don't like about us. And again, we're currently offering DOS and Sterling as of today.
Well, that's $500, $600, $700 in savings just to open up an account.
I think it's $525, but I got to check with my compliance department about that.
Well, so what's the minimum deposit for opening up an account with Mondeum? Let's say someone wants to open up a $5,000 account, just trading cash. Can they do that, or do they need to fund over PDT?
As of right now, it's over PDT. Again, we have aspirations to offer a Mondeum trade product, which will offer our own proprietary platform with a lower minimum. But for right now, for our Mondeum Pro product, it's a minimum account threshold of 25,000. I would explain the PDT rule, but I know you know it and your customer base does it as well. We go beyond that. We suggest the traders fund with a little bit more, 27, 30,000, just to avoid any issues falling below that threshold. For margin policy, 4 times intraday, 2 times overnight leverage for now.
Okay.
But like everything else we do, we're constantly talking to the clients, trying to enhance the platform, get them what they need. And, we may offer additional asset classes, other platforms based on what the clients tell us they want.
Really? Yeah. Again, customer centric.
Trying.
So next question is, I've seen, your pricing structure, which a lot of people they're going to say, wow, do they actually believe it? Because you're offering just a flat rate commission of 5 mils a trade. And, shopping around, looking around, I know that is a significant difference between most brokers that are maybe 6 times that. 5 mils a trade on 100 shares is 5 pennies. On 1,000 shares is 50 cents. It's unbelievable.
It's a really great question. It's one I get a lot. So our pricing and more importantly, the transparency around our pricing is, I think, what really separates us apart. We need that. The active trader landscape is as competitive as it's ever been, obviously, since the COVID era. And we need to attract really high quality customers. We need a really attractive value proposition. So, how can we do that? Mondeum Capital's ownership is a group called Mondeum Investment Group. I like the M's, obviously, because of my initials.
Right.
And there's multiple broker dealers that we own globally. The business that MIG runs is pretty substantial, and that gives us an economies of scale advantage, which we made a decision that we wanted to pass through to the customers, sort of enhance this value proposition instead of just padding our own pockets, right? Because, like I said, we're going to have to come up with a pretty attractive value proposition to attract these customers and kind of make us look to our customer base like we're interesting, at least at first glance. And I'm confident if you compare our pricing structure with the current active brokers you're using, active trading brokers, you're going to find that you're going to save significantly on your commissions, routing, stock loan, locate, platform fees, all that other stuff. But again, the answer is economies of scale based on the ownership structure that we have owning multiple broker dealers globally.
Nice. Well, you elaborate more than I thought you would on that question. That's great insight. I really appreciate that. Next question I have is one that's dear to me. It is in reference to customer service. Now, when I first got into trading 5-6 years ago, me as well as a lot of other friends that got into it, customer service was not really a thing back then. And honestly, it's not really a thing right now, without mentioning certain brokers that may or may not even be here today. You couldn't get a hold of anyone. Let's say you're stuck in a trade, your platform freezes, any kind of issues. You can't, there were times I couldn't even get out of a trade. You call, you email, you send out a ticket. It's going to take 3-4 days, sometimes a week. Let's say you're in a situation like that with Mondeum. How's your customer service in a situation like that?
Sure. Look, to be honest, our pricing, which you just touched on, is compelling. And I think that opens the doors for a new trader to just give us a look and say, this could be interesting, right? But I think our approach to customers is really where we're going to stand out and why people are going to keep to partner with us. Many of the serious traders that I know complain about that very same thing. I can't get anybody on the phone. Firm's not available. They feel like just an account number there versus a person. And they're not really catering to their specific needs. Mike, I need additional stock loan names, or my routing is not working. How do we do a tweak here? Or I'm stuck in a trade. How do I get out? We built Mondeum from both the technology and the human sides of this with the customers in mind, knowing that a true active trader needs personalized support. They need somebody to talk to. They need somebody that knows that they're a very niche customer and they need to be treated that way. My team is personally available to every customer. I've been doing this 20 years. Funny, I had a trader that I worked with for a really long time. I'll call him D, so I don't divulge his name. To date, the best cash flow trader I've ever seen in my career. Loved kind of banging around in the pre-market and the post-market. Would start his day at 4 o'clock in the morning. And very often, 4:30 in the morning, there would be what I call the stock du jour, which is whatever's bouncing around that day. And I would get a phone call 4:30 in the morning. My wife would look over and say, is everything okay? Is that D? I'm like, yep, it's him. Mike, I need this locate, or I'm having a hard time getting filled. My orders are hidden. They need to be this. And you have to account for them at early hours like that. So that's really what we built this for, is to sort of combat the fact that your active trading brokers aren't taking your phone calls, or they aren't available at all hours. Feel free to reach out to me directly, and my team from Kate and Preston and everybody are all available for everybody moving forward.
Wow. Personally available. That is unbelievable. I appreciate that. 4:30 in the morning. That's a little early.
It was pretty early. My wife wasn't happy, believe me, I'll tell you.
But that just goes to show how customer focused you guys are. So I already know I'm going to get this question, so let me go ahead and ask it. Your short list for hard to borrow stocks, how extensive is that list? And do you have locates most of the time?
Well, again, it's symbol by symbol, right? I think the thing that separates us, again, from the bigger bulge bracket firms is we do use third-party providers for our short inventory list, right? The big difference, in my opinion, between, like I said, the larger BDs, your Schwabs, your Ameritrades, your Interactive Brokers, versus these boutique bespoke shops like Mondeum and some of the other ones, yeah, it's more expensive for us to use an outside provider versus just using our own inventory. But customers are going to have much better locates and much better access to more symbols. Again, I had a customer open an account with us yesterday. Before he did, he said to me, I trade these symbols. Am I going to have a hard time shorting them? Am I going to need a locate? Is it on your easy to borrow, hard to borrow list? How is this going to work?
Right.
And I invite any listeners out there, if you've got those same questions, email me, and I'm sure at some point we'll distribute my email to the community. Send me over an email. These are the symbols that I trade. Are they hard to borrow? Are they easy to borrow? Are there locates available? What does this cost? I'm happy to give you a snapshot of what we have that day. Remember, it's all supply and demand driven. So certain inventory is going to change by certain days. But remember, before you open an account, we'll give you an idea as to what we have available and what the costs are.
Awesome. Yeah, traders all the time are asking that information. So again, most CEOs you can't reach out to personally, but Michael's here for you guys. The next question I noticed on your website refers to PFOF. I'll call it payment for order flow. Traders can actually make money trading, or at least get some of it back. Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Sure. PFOF is an acronym. It means payment for order flow, as you said. It's the reason why a lot of these, again, next generation, newer, commission-free broker dealers, the Robinhoods of the world, can offer that, because what they're doing is they're selling your order flow to market makers for a rebate. They're paying different market makers, whether it's Two Sigma, Citadel's obviously the one that's in the news the most. They're paying for that order flow. Again, the old Facebook analogy of, and you mentioned it earlier, if you're not paying for the product, you are the product, sort of comes into play here. But those rebates that the market makers are paying to the firms will cover the firm's clearing costs and allow them to turn a small profit, which allows you to have a zero commission broker. It's been a hot button topic for a while, and many experts will question, whether it's a positive thing for the marketplace or investors or customers or whatnot. I am not here to discuss that or to debate that one way or the other. PFOF is here right now. It seems like it's here to stay for the short term. And I think our approach to PFOF is another thing that separates us from our competitors. So we give our traders the ability to have drop downs and route their orders where they want to route them, whether it be lit venues, dark smart order routers, midpoints, whatever. But most importantly, we give our traders the ability to not only direct their own order flow, but to use our PFOF route to sell their own order flow to the market if they want to. Right now, we're paying 3 mils, which is 30 cents a thousand. If you decide to use the PFOF route to sell your order flow to the market, you can collect some of the rebate yourself. Wherever you come down on the debate, and everyone's got an opinion on this, I try to avoid controversial conversations, but I appreciate you asking. We really wanted to put the order flow back into the ability to direct your order flow back into the traders' hands, allow them to make them decisions for themselves. If they want to sell their order flow, wonderful. They deserve a piece of the rebate that we're getting. And if they want to go to lits and darks and smart order routers, they can make that decision for themselves too.
That's amazing. I mean, just the ability to have the option, that you're not really granted at certain brokers as well.
I don't want to say we're the only broker out there offering it. I just haven't seen another broker out there offering it in my research. So we thought it was a little bit unique of an approach to traders because, again, I've been doing this 20 years. I hear the complaints of a lot of the traders that I've spoken to in the past, and this is one of them. The market makers or the specialists see my stop orders, or my firm's selling my order flow or whatnot. So my answer to it was sell your own order flow if you want to. And if you choose not to, you can use other venues and that'll make your decision. And you get either the benefits or the negatives of that yourself.
That's incredible. Well, I want to get into the news of the day, which is Mondeum has been offering Sterling Trader Pro, which you guys know, beautiful interface. It's a great platform, but here recently, they just introduced DOS Trader Pro, which is very robust. A lot of you guys use that platform as well. And not only that, but they're actually going to give it to you guys for 3 months for free just to test it out. Either that or Sterling Trader if you haven't been there as well. I'll attach a link in the description below for you guys if you would like to jump on that, hop on that deal to start your new year. Congrats on that, by the way.
Thank you very much. It takes us a while to get all these things done. We believe in doing things right, not doing them fast. So it takes a little bit of time to test and make sure our technology works and whatnot. But like I said, we have DOS traders on the platform, and we're excited to move forward with them. They're a great company, and the technology is solid, as is Sterling's. Like I said, they're both really important partners for us.
Well, that's all the questions I had, Michael. I really appreciate you doing this, taking the time to do this interview. I'll give you the last word if there's anything you'd like to conclude with.
Yeah, again, I appreciate the time again. I always love talking to people about our new product and whatnot. I'm not here to sell anyone as to why we're better than your current brokers or whatnot. All I would say is that we've made this kind of an easy decision for someone to look at our pricing, look at our offering, and say, hey, listen, I've got 2 active trading brokerage firms that I'm working with out there. Let me give these guys an opportunity to see what they're about. Let me reach out to Mike and his team. Let's see how attentive they are. Remember, I think pricing will make us compelling through the door. And I think once you decide to work with us and you realize how hands-on we are with this, it's going to be a much different experience than you're getting wherever you are now. So I'll leave you with that, Kevin. I really appreciate your time.
Yeah, absolutely amazing. Guys, if you appreciate Mike and his time, please hit the like button, and then we'll leave his email down if you guys have any further questions or want him to elaborate on anything you need to find out if there's shorts available, for certain symbols. That'll all be in the description below, or any of the platforms you'd like, Sterling or DOS, 3 months for free down below. Thank you so much for the interview, Michael, and we'll see you guys next time.